Hello and welcome. In this video I will show you how you can create a research manager where you will be able to add all the resources that you need. You can add from 1 to 100, it's up to you. So it's simply just hit the research button. You can see here I have added 3 different times, and it's very easy to adjust if you wish to adjust the time or the gold cost or the level. So let's get to it. So let's start creating the UI. Let's create a UI canvas. I'll just set it to overlay, scale with screen size 920 times 1080, like that. And then underneath here, let's create an empty game object, and this one, let's call it blacksmith. Underneath this one, we will need image, and in here we will have the first research. Let's do something like this, and this will just be the background. Underneath the background I will actually make it something like this. Underneath the background we will need a slider, and this is the progress bar, and you can always change the graphic here as you like. Underneath here you have the background, we have the fill area, we have the fill and the handle. But in this specific case I will just leave it as default. Then we need a UI text, and this will be the profession, or we can say the let's say the level. So we can just put it up here, and this will be the level text. Then we need another text, and this will be the level. So let's just, for this case, we can make it 1, move it to the right instead. Make this a little lower, something like this. And what else do we need? We need a slider. We have the research button, so the UI button. Let's move it down here to the right. Let's rename the text to research. I will make it bold. Let's make it a little bigger, something like this. Maybe make it green, something like this. And then we need one more text, and that will be the text for the progress. And that will be something like, let's say, research, something like this, 100%. And I will scale it down a bit. So move it up here like this. And what else do we need? We have the slider, we have the text, buttons, the level, and the skill level text. Yeah, that's it. Good. So this is what you'll need for the research, and this is for the blacksmith. Let's create a empty object here again and call it research. Move on the transform up here, hit Control Shift and take down the right corner so it will go to full canvas. Now on the blacksmith, drag it to the research, and now duplicate this 2 times. And here we can say wood cutting, and we can have one for, let's just take mining. On the research we can make a vertical layout group, and then we can, with the padding, move it in here and move it down, something like this, and move it more in here, just so we can see what's happening here. Good, so that is what we need for the UI. So now let's create our scripts. Right click, create script, and this one we will call Research Manager. Oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot one thing that we will need, because in this case here we will need gold for researching. So on the canvas here I will create another UI text, and this text we will move just up here, and this would be the gold, and we will just have 500. Let's call this gold text. Yes, and then first create empty object more, and this can be the game manager. manager, and on that we will create a new script, and this one we can call game manager. Put it on the game manager component like this. Open it up. We will need a public integer for gold amount, and that's actually what we need in here. And this is just where I will store my my gold amount. If you have another script, you will of course link it to that script. Now let's open up the research manager. And in the research manager, the first thing that we will need, we will use Unity engine.ui because we are working with the UI. And then we will use TM Pro because we are using TextMesh Pro and not normal text. So let's save this. And now for all the variables, let me paste it in here. So first we have the research texts, and that is a TextMesh Pro, and we have made an array, so it's easier for us to add all the buttons that we need. Then we have all the sliders here, and that is of course the progress bar. We have the buttons here. This is all the buttons that we press to start the research. Then we have the timers. How long time should it take to research? Then we have the cost. How much should it cost for the research? And then we have some private ones for the current research time. And we have a private float for the progress. Then we have an int to store all our skill levels. And then we have a TextMesh Pro again down here to store all our skill level text, so we can see what level we are in. And then we have a private game manager called GM, and this is where you are linking to your script. I made the game manager script up here where we have our goals, so we need to get this in a later state. And this is why I have this. So if your script is named something else where you store your goal, then you should put it here, or you can put your goal into the research manager as well if you wish to keep it in one script. So now in our start, let me copy it in here. We will start finding our game manager script, and that we will do that with the gm.findObjectOfType. Then we have our current research time. We will create a float with our skill buttons.length, and this is from the array. We will do the same for the research progress. That is a float as well, due to our skill buttons.length. Then for each of the skill buttons we have in the array, the research sliders, we will set the max value to 1, and we will set the value to 0. Then the text will be research 0. And then we need to find the skill index. And here we have the integer skill index is equal to the I. And then skill buttons. And the add listener is actually, instead of making a public void for each button and assign it to the button, then with this listener, it will automatically add the click event to the button. So no need to add anything. And the start research, we have not implemented that yet. We will do that here in a second. Then let's take the start research. Let me copy that in. Let's add it below the update. And here we have the start research, and here we need an integer for the skill index. And if the current research time, and here we are going for the skill index, is less or equal to 0, then we will take the cost of that research index. And if the cost is less or equal to, I named it gold amount, then we can research. And then of course it will cost, and it will reduce the gold. And the same goes for the research time for that skill index. The research time will be equal. Else, if we can press, it will debug not enough gold for research. When that is added, then go to the update. And let me paste this in here. Let me remove it again. This was the start research, and this should be fixed up here now. There shouldn't be any red line. So in the update, Here we make a for loop for the skill buttons dot length, again the skill buttons array, and we are checking the research time. If it's less than 0, then, or greater than 0, sorry, then it has to go down, and that will do with time.delta-time. And then we are looking for the research progress, the value, and here it will increase the research from 0 to 100. And if it reaches 0, then it will reset the values, or it hit and when the research is complete, it will reset the values and the research text will be 100%. Now we of course need to upgrade some skills as well. So let's take that one here. I'll just add it below here. Upgrade skills, and this will be taking an integer for the skill index as well. Now the skill level, when we level up, when research reached 100, we of course need a skill level, and that is why we take that skill index and say plus plus, and plus plus is the same as plus equal 1, so it will just plus 1. We need the same for the text, so the text needs to be updated. And in my case, when I upgrade a skill, I would like to increase the research time. So if we start with 5 seconds, now it would be 6 seconds, and then 7, 8, 10, or 9, sorry, and then 10. But you can of course adjust the values, and if you don't need this, then just comment it out or remove it. The same for the research costs. So in the beginning it maybe cost 10 gold. After it has completed, it will cost 20 gold, then 30 gold, and so on. And you can adjust it as you will. So this is what we need for the script. So let's save this and hit back. And now when we go to, not the game manager, oh, we didn't. The research. Let's add the research manager. And now we need to add all these things. Let me remove this. Zoom in here. Open this up. First, we need all the research text. And what are that is the research 100 here. So let's take all these out. And you can add as many as you like. So let's lock it up here. And the research text, I forgot to rename it, I can see. So that is all these. Drag them to the research text. And remember, all of these are connected. So let me show you here in a second. Now let's take all the sliders. Like this. They're in here. So this 0 here is connected with this 0 here. And that is the same for all of them down here. So if you mix one of these up, then all these research will be mixed. So everything from the blacksmith should be in 0 in my case, and then everything for the wood cutting will be number 1, and everything for the mining would be number 2. Now all the skill buttons, let's take buttons here. Add the buttons. Let me close these down. Then we need the research times, and here we need to hit the plus sign for free. And this is how long time should it take to research. So the first will take 5 seconds, the next one will take 10 seconds, and the next one will take 15 seconds. Maybe all of them in level 1 should take 5 seconds. So this is just to show that you can have 3 different researches with 3 different times. Now we have the cost. We need to hit 3 times again, and this is how much should it cost. Let's say let's say 10, 20, and 30 gold. Then we have our skill level. Let's hit 3 times again. All of them will start in level 1. Then we have our skill level text. And here we need to take the level. Add all these to the level text. Remember in the game, yeah, that's everything that we have to set here. Let's have this open so we can see what happens. And in the game manager, let's close this. Remember to set your gold amount. I will just set it to 500. And of course, I forgot something. Open up the game manager again. We need using GM Pro. And then we need, let's just make it a public text mesh pro. And here we'll need gold text. And update our gold text is equal to the gold amount up to string, like this. So save this, and back. Of course, normally you should not use the public one. You should make it private and make it serialized, so you do not access it from anywhere else. And here now you can drag the gold text here, and it will represent this one up here. So again, let me go to the research here, lock it up here. Let's hit play and see what happens. So if one starts on 0, we have 500 gold. If I press research, it goes to 100, and now you're level 2. And you can see here it increased from 5 to 6, and the gold cost increased from 10 to 20, and it took 10 gold. Let's reset this one, reset this one. You can see the time is different. We can reset this one again, and it took some gold. Now it's level 3, this one is level 2. This one takes a little longer. Now that one's level 2, and so on. Yeah, this is how you can create a very simple research manager to handle all the research that you wish to have in your specific game. I really hope that this helped you out. Thanks a lot for watching, and remember, all the scripts that I'm using for my tutorials can be found on my webpage, GameAssetWorld.com. The link will be in the description. So go and check it out, and see you next time.